The NPP heads to Congress this weekend to elect national executives to steer the affairs of the party for the next 4 years. Addressing journalists in Parliament, the Majority Leader outlined what delegates should look out for in electing the executives.
We are determined to forge on, to break the eight. In doing so, you require to have people who will be able to provide strategic direction for the party. And so you're looking at evaluating the contestants to ensure that you have the best out of the lot. I know, human as we are, people go knocking doors, appealing to people, and yes, can you have this as transportation to lift you to Accra and so on and so forth. Those are integral parts of these considerations. I would want to plead with my party people not to be looking at the size of wallets, but really to be looking at who will be able to help the party to do what is right.
The minority at a press briefing later on slammed Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for blaming the Mahama administration for the economic woes of the country.
The way he's trying to shift blame, he has messed us up, period. He's responsible for the mess that we are in. Simple. And let him accept that he has failed. I'm calling on him, our Vice President Bawumia, that sadly you have failed. Sadly, you are running away from the responsibility. That is not a mark of leadership. A leader is the one who accepts responsibility and moves on. I urge him to urgently appear before us as a country and apologize. He should apologize to the people of Ghana for giving us hope and for promising us heaven only for him to deliver hell. Because we have seen his act. We have seen the way he has managed the economy, and everybody knows that he has failed. We will not accept the blame game any day, and we will respond with equal measure anytime he comes out trying to shift that blame, because we know it's not true.
The House debated a tax exemptions bill at the second reading stage.
I believe that even if we look at 2018 to now, average of about 2.4 billion cedis of lost revenues from tax exemption. It was only in 2020 that we declined to about 1.7, 1.8 billion, but we are back to 2.4 billion in 2024. With this, for 2022, we'll likely make some savings of 416 million, which will be important as we begin this trajectory. But I think it also brings into focus the need for all of us to be protecting the public purse. And that is a social re-engineering that's important for us as we lose revenue on many fronts.
This tax exemption bill is a very robust one, very strong one indeed, Mr. Speaker. So I'll call on all members of the House, particularly those of us who are ministers, among us who are ministers. I know some of them will have a different view to this tax exemption bill because obviously as ministers of state, some powers will be taken from them. I think they should take interest in the consideration of this bill. They should not wait for us to approve the tax exemption bill and later come back and complain. Mr. Speaker, last week, something similar happened in this House. This August House approved a regulation, a policy to regulate with 1D, 1F tax regime. All of us debated it, got it approved, but in the end, when the committee brought a report that suggests that we should approve the tax exemption regimes, members stood against it. Mr. Speaker, this is because we don't take part in the debate of the tax exemptions that is before us.
With the approval of the tax exemptions bill at the second reading stage, it's now left with 2 more stages before it becomes an act of parliament, which will then be signed by parliament. It has to go through the consideration stage next, whereby clause by clause analysis is going to be done and approved, and then the third reading stage before it is sent to the president for his assent. This is a bill that many believe will help plug the loopholes in the tax administration system if it is passed. Reporting for Citi Newsroom Parliament, my name is Duke Mensopoko.